of voices. One man will become many.
We are not alone out here.
Listen to my story.
I have a bad feeling about this.
What? Oh, great Scott! No need to panic.
Man,
Captain,
funny,
Jack Sparrow. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Right, we get it, blah, blah, blah.
Get ready for an adventure unlike any you've ever seen
What is that?
or heard.
My delicate ears can't take it no more.
Prepare yourself for laughter
Tears.
and moments of neither. Get set for the voice to end all voices. The master of mouth, the king of characterization, the prince of pronunciation, the infinite impersonator, the architect of audible, the noun of nouns, the one, the only. Is anybody buying this yet? Ladies and gentlemen, the best of the best. Please help me welcome to the stage every voice you've heard and will hear, including this one, is James Arnold
Taylor, come on!
Hey! Thank you. Just a simple little introduction for a simple little man. We having a good time? Come on, you got to do better than that. We have John Lovitz and Gene Simmons here tonight. Are you having a good time? This is insane. This is great. Welcome to the John Lovitz Comedy Club and Podcast Theater. My name is James Arnold Taylor. James Taylor. I have seen fire and I have seen rain. Up on the roof. Okay, let's get them all out of the way. Just remember, you've got a friend. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Okay, anyways, look. So I am a voice actor, and as you can see, I do the voice of lots of different characters. Obi-Wan Kenobi on Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Fred Flintstone, Johnny Test, and all of those. And what I'm going to do for you tonight is some segments from my stage show that I have called Talking to Myself, because as a voice actor, I spend all of my time in little padded rooms talking to myself, you see. So, are you ready for that? I appreciate it, Mom. Thank you so much. No, okay, so I have been fascinated by voices ever since I was a kid, and I've known since I was 4 that I wanted to do them. And so people always ask me about voiceover and how do you get into it and what it's all about. And the best way I can describe it is to say, voiceover. Since the dawn of time, man used his voice to communicate and entertain. Whoops, let's try that again. Voiceover. Since the dawn of time, man used his voice to communicate and entertain. Which didn't always go over well. The first great leap in communicating and entertaining to the masses was the invention of radio. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. WJAT Radio brings you all the entertainment that's fit to voice. Yes, radio is comedy. Well, who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on first. So who's playing first? Yes. I mean the fella's name. Who? The fella playing first base. Who is on first? Well, what are you asking me for? Drama. I love you, Margot.
And I love you, Chad, but...
There's someone else, isn't there?
No, Chad.
No? Then why don't you tell me who this is? Hello, Margot. Sports! The champ is looking to be in bad shape. The challenger's got him on the ropes. He's giving him a left, and a right, and a left, and a right, and still another left, and another right. Music, baby, as sweet can be, like sugar from a candy tree, honey kisses from the vine. News, Dateline, Europe, 1945. The German High Command surrendered their forces to the Allies. Hitler's minions have given up the fight. And suspense.
I'm telling you, whatever you do not open that door.
But I must see.
Trust me, nothing can prepare you for what is on the other side.
But Hello, Margot. But radio was only the beginning. Voiceover is used in everything from film. Critics are calling it so-so. Not one of this year's best. From the director of a big movie that did really well, and the producers of a movie that did really well, comes a story that will touch your heart and make you believe your darkest fears will come true.
To television. Tonight's presentation is brought to you in living color.
Butter.
Got milk.
Oh, yeah! We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
To phone services.
If you would like to make a call, please hang up and dial again.
What kind of movie would you like to see? Computers. You've got mail. Even video games.
See ya!
Announcers have come in all shapes, sizes, and styles. It's Wrestle Mayhem! This is your nightly news. Here's Johnny. Ask your doctor if breathing is right for you.
It's a new car! Be sure to get your parents' permission before going online.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night.
Burger, fries, and acid. Leave me alone. I'm queasy.
Voiceover. Wherever there are words needing to be read, there will be a voice actor ready to read them from now into the next millennium and beyond.
Thank you. So now you get what I do. See, I live in this little padded room doing voices, and it's become a very lucrative thing. They used to call it crazy, but now it's pretty good. And it started when I was a kid. I don't know if anybody does voices. You did voices when you were a kid, and I would recreate scenes from my favorite movies and shows for my friends, and because this was before the internet and YouTube and DVDs, DVRs. VCRs were brand new, and they cost like $1 million. So basically, for me and my friends, I was TiVo, And like if somebody had not seen Back to the Future, I could say, well, there's a scene where the time machine goes back in time and Doc and Marty are there, and it was like it was a picture in my head, and it was kind of like, well, it was kind of like this. Whoa, wait a second, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style? Besides, this stainless steel construction made the flux dispersal. Look out!
Whoa, this is heavy. So, see, that's how it was for me in my head. Yeah? Kind of getting it? Good. It's a really crazy life being a voice actor because you're just all these different people all the time. And unlike being an on-camera actor where you're going to one place and you sit in a trailer and you get all dressed up and you got the makeup and all that, we just can show up in whatever. And in fact, most of my work I do from my home studio, and a lot of times just in my pajamas, so it's a lot of fun. But when I'm out there, I'm driving all over the place because you have to be so many different people. And an average day for me as a voice actor could look like I could start my day driving out to Burbank to be the voice of one of my favorite reoccurring characters, the Strawberry Mini-Wheats. Hey guys, a little family reunion, huh? And then drive way over the hill to Santa Monica to audition for the roles of Guy 1, Guy 2, and Guy 3. Oh, and an announcer. That they don't want to have sound like an announcer. Oh, and Guy 1 should have the same tonal qualities of Guy 3, but not the same as Guy 2. But Guy 2 should have a similar read as Guy 1, but not the same as Guy 3. Then I've got to drive all the way over to Studio City to re-record some dialogue due to a change from standards and practices. Now, this is called ADR, or Additional Dialogue Replacement. Poop. Phooey. Then I drive over to my home studio where I patch in on the ISDN line for a quick promo for Fox.
Animation Domination's all new Sunday, 7/6 Central on Fox.
Then I've got to yabba dabba do it over to Hollywood for a commercial featuring everybody's favorite caveman.
Huh? Bonnie, my pebbles.
Then back in the car over to Century City to do a tag, also known as... That voice that comes on at the end of the commercial says a bunch of stuff you can never understand because it's talking so fast. Offer expires November 30th. See store for details. Batteries down included. Action periods 70 summers. Requirement member FDIC. Vote prohibited use only as directed. Then I got to drive all the way back home so I can start all over again the next day. But you see, this is all in a day's work for a voice actor. Pretty good though, right? Yeah? So I love educating people about voiceover, and it's a little different. You know, I know you come to a comedy club, you're expecting comedy and stuff, but you're learning as well. And then hopefully you come out and you start doing some voices as well, because again, I do a lot of voice doubling. Now you've got stunt doubles, but I am a voice double. So everybody from Christopher Walken to Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, when they're not available, if they're on the set of another movie or a TV show, or they're doing something else, or they're celebrities in rehab or something, they might have me come in and do their voice. And so I will fill it in, like on the airplanes, and you see the clean versions, that's usually me then doing the voice of the person. So I've been the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi now for Clone Wars. Now, anybody know the Star Wars: A Clone Wars show? Good, again, very good, thank you. So I started doing Obi-Wan Kenobi 11 years ago as the voice double for Ewan McGregor. And so it was pretty great to do that, but I like to put Obi-Wan in different situations. And everybody has Christopher Walken in them, right? Everybody, I'm sure 20 people in this room do a Christopher Walken, but I've actually doubled for Christopher Walken once. And so I think about, like, what would it have been like if Luke was getting the lightsaber from Obi-Wan and it was Christopher Walken? It could have...
Hello, little man. This lightsaber I got right here was your father's, you know. The way your dad looked at it, this saber was his birthright. He'd be damned if the Emperor was going to get his pasty white hands on his boy's birthright, so he hid it in one place he knew he could hide something. His R2 units.
See, that's a little Star Wars joke for the people. I'm not going to say the other thing. Why would I say the other thing? Come on. Oh, so it's fun. It's fun. And it's fun doing voices for celebrities. I'm Johnny Depp's voice double. So anytime Johnny Depp is not available, I come in. Thank you. You just say celebrities' names and people clap. Brad Pitt. Thank you. John Lovitz. I think we can do better than that. Come on. So I did a lot of Johnny Depp's doubling for the last 10 years, and I've really enjoyed doing it. And when I did this stuff for Willy Wonka, I was told he asked for my cell phone number and for my home number, but he actually never called. He never called me, and I was kind of bummed about that. But I mean, what are you going to do? So I say he never called. Oh, wait a second. You don't think that it's him right now, do you? Let's see. Hello?
Hey, Taylor. It's Leary.
What, Dennis Leary?
Hello? That's what I said, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, no. See, I was expecting Johnny Depp because we were talking about...
I didn't know you had a bigger name on the other line.
No. See, I was talking about an impression I do of him, and so
yeah, newsflash, Obi-Wan Kenobi. The impression of me that you do stinks. Okay?
Oh, okay. The impression I do of you stinks.
That's right, loser.
Yeah, okay.
And you know who does a better one?
No, who?
The person you thought it was, Johnny Depp.
What? Oh.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to fool you. I was working on my Dennis Leary impression. What do you think?
Oh, it was good. Yeah.
Well, the truth is, James, you do my voice pretty well, but there's somebody else that actually does it much better than you. Do you know who that is?
No. Who's that?
Gilbert Gottfried, because it's actually Gilbert doing Johnny Depp right now.
Oh, sure, I've been punked by Gilbert Gottfried. Oh, great.
But the joke is really on you, James, because it's not Dennis Leary or Johnny Depp or even me, Gilbert Gottfried. It's actually you.
Me?
Yeah, it's you.
What?
Or me. James.
Okay, no.
How's it going?
No, how can you be me and I'm me and we're...
Well, the show is called Talking to Myself. Hello.
Okay, yeah, great. Okay, well, look, I am doing the show right now.
Wait. Let me do my John Lovitz. It's really good.
No.
I'm John...
No. Sorry. Okay, well, so now a lot of people ask me about voices and impressions and things and how do you do them and where do they come from? And through all the years of doubling for all these different people, I've come to find that all voices are basically tones. And you can get from one tone to the next by just changing little parts of your voice, adding a little depth or giving it a little texture or raising up the pitch or throwing in an accent. So I want to give you an example of that. And let's just start with my regular voice. Hang on, my regular voice. Okay, so if we start just about right here, we'll find that there are a lot of people's voices that are very similar to mine, and with just a little changing, we can get to different ones. So let's start with, Michael Emerson from the TV show Lost, remember? He had such a way of talking that everything he said sounded a little creepy, yet just a little off. Now, if we take the creep factor out and make it a little more folksy and friendly, you get Ron Howard. Lose the folk and give it some soul, now it's Justin Timberlake, and it's becoming like a social network of voices. Use some wizardry and a British accent, you get Daniel Radcliffe. Lay it back, give it a little twang, you get yourself Matthew McConaughey, who, if you flip over, becomes Heath Ledger as the Joker, and he completes me. Shift it over just a little, and it's Christian Slater, who, if you drop down in tone, is Jack Nicholson. You raise it back up and seem less interested, and it's David Spade, and you are... Oh, I'm McLovin, and I totally sound just like... Well, wait a second, Doc, it's me again, right? So this is heavy, so let's drop it down in tone, and you get Shia LaBeouf. Well, wait a second, Optimus, you mean to tell me my car is a robot? Well, I gotta tell you, this is like unbelievable, you know. I gotta go tell Sandy, because it's crazy the way these voices intertwine, you know. The way I break up my sentence structure is not that dissimilar to I'm smarter than the average bear. Ruffy boy, yeah. Hey, Fred, Sammy, to properly connect the voices there, you just gotta shoot it on the shoot it. Ganga. You talking to me, huh? You talking to me, Ganga? Well, if I'm curt with you, I'm sorry. It's just, I love you, Spartacus. Oh, and I love me too. Wait a minute, dum-dum, you sound like me. All right, nobody panic. Panic's my middle name. You and me both.
Oh, Yogi, I'm gonna have to tell Mr. Ranger, and he's gonna call him back on awfully a pair of shoes. Oh, yeah, like a cans of spinach. Well, blow me down and hoo-ha, okay? You ever notice Al Pacino slowly turning into Jim Ignatowski from Taxi? Okay? I mean, great Scott, there's a direct correlation between voices. This is temporal experiment number 1. If you take Dr. Emmett Brown and teach him karate, you get Hong Kong Fooey, number 1 super guy. Give him a British accent and you get John Hurt. Take away the accent and bring it down a little more controlled. Here, and you might find Alec Baldwin hanging out. Who if you take and drop down even lower, it's Christian Bale as Batman. Take that down to almost a whisper, and it's Jack Palance. Actually, I think it's Eastwood, Punk. Well, go ahead, make my voice. That depends on your definition of the word voice, because if you give mine a surfer twang, well, then you might find Nicolas Cage hiding in there, who always seems to start a sentence down here, but by the end, he's really hot and way up here. You know, he's kind of crazy like Frank Caliendo doing John Madden. Or Dana Carvey doing Regis Philbin. He's out of control. Not gonna do Dana Carvey doing George Bush, wouldn't be prudent. Not gonna do Dana Carvey doing Johnny Carson, right? Of course, if I want to do Johnny Carson, I've got to drop my voice down in tone a little right there, right? Hi-oh, or is it actually, yeah, mates, Johnny Carson loves Johnny Depp, who's sometimes a pirate love, other times, oh, he's a chocolatier. Oh, this is making me madder than a hatter, Alice. Oh, that's funny with the madder and the hatter and the... Oh, funny how? Funny like a clown, like I'm here to amuse you, huh? Because I'm not a clown. I'm a chicken hawk, and you're my chicken. No, boy. I say, you got it all wrong, son. I'm not a chicken. I'm a therapist, boy. And what you need is a checkup from the neck up. Because it's an inconvenient truth that life is like a box of chocolates. Chocolates are cool. Yeah.
I like the ones with the peanuts.
Yeah. Ooh, that's an always starts. And then there's running and screaming. It's very bad. It's like me in a relationship, you know, or me playing you in a relationship. Oh, sweet. Oh. Either way, it's a no-win situation. I'm Albert Brooks, and I'm Jay Baruchel. We have the same voice, so let's move it sideways, and you get Paul Giamatti. Oh, wait a second. Is it Paul Reiser? You know what I'm saying? But the real question is, who are these people? Zoinks, like, hey, Scoob, all these crazy voices, like, blend together.
Yeah, it's tricky. Tricky it is, yes. Near and far. Right, Ricky. Did you say tricky? Because I gotta tell you, I get no respect at all. Oh, yeah, but if I did, that'd be great, gazoo. Yippa dippa, do.
Let's say, this whole thing is making me quite mental. Oh, hey, man, Shazbot, not another. Spot
Scotty, Zulu.
Judy, 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 Jane, get me off this crazy thing. I hate it with the thing in the playpen and the hiking.
Heavens to Murgatroyd, exit stage left, Stephen.
Homina, homina, homina. Nya, nya, nya. Meow, meow, meow.
Bleh, bleh, bleh.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, alrighty then. Ring it around town. Ha! Okay, okay. You know, as a matter of fact, we got a great show for you tonight, but that's all the time we have, so that's all, folks. Thank you so much. I'm James Arnold Taylor. Thank you. Okay, you ready for the big main event now? I've got to do it upright because we have two amazing people here. Now, this is a good one, and this is for all the people that are watching out there. Okay, so you guys dim the lights, watch the screen. Here is our main event.
Live from beautiful Universal City Walk in beautiful Universal City, California. It's the John Lovitz Comedy Club and Podcast Theater. Are you ready to rock? Good, because it's time for Lovitz or Leavitz.
Tonight's show is sponsored by the John Lovitz Podcast Theater. That's right. Come to the John Lovitz Comedy Club and Podcast Theater, located in the beautiful Universal City Walk. City Walk, where you can walk in the city. Enjoy.
Like I was saying, it's time for the main event. The comedy god. He's the god of thunder and rock and roll. Lovitz and Simmons. Live one night only. Let the comedy rock. Now, put your hands together for the man women love and men wanna be. Here is the podcast king, John Lovitz.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. What's your name? I forget the name. That was true. That's very flattering. Thank you for coming to the club. Well, that thing just blew me away, and Obama applauding for me. Thank you for coming. We started a little late because the traffic was so horrible on all the freeways, and a lot of people had bought tickets, so we were waiting for them to show up. Anyway, this is Lovitz or Leavitz. It's on the John Lovitz Vodcast Network, and you go to johnlovitzvodcastnetwork.com, and you can hear all our different shows. We have one called Talking Marijuana, which is about medical marijuana. Easy. And then and the FYI is a sports show with Dimitri Young and Robert Fick, who are two Major League Baseball players. And right now they had an exclusive interview with Lenny Dykstra right after he got out of prison. I met Lenny. He's a very nice guy, and he had a tough time. But anyway, he paid his dues. He's out. And tonight we have a very special guest. This is a guy I met about, 15 years ago, and he's not only is a great rock star, he's a great businessman. So I'm always asking him for advice. He's always helping me, and he's a great guy. What a fascinating life. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the demon from Kiss, Gene Simmons.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all. My beautiful wife, Shannon, is up there. My beautiful daughter, Sophie, is up there. And I'm down here with him.
Fine. You know, you may not know, but Gene is from Israel. So I just want to say to you, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, but you're doing Ashkenazi instead of Sfaradit.
Ma?
Oh, boy.
That means what in Hebrew? That's all I know. Ma Ken Lo.
Ma. You can say mother in American, Ma, but in Hebrew it means what.
What?
Yeah, they don't care. They don't speak that language.
You know, Gene.
Yes, John.
This isn't really a regular show because it's me. Anyway, Gene, you know, a lot of people know this. Gene, I didn't know it. Gene is born in Israel, and you know, I looked at you on Wikipedia, and it leaves out so much else. Well, you moved when you were 8 years old to New York, and then the next thing they go, and then he started forming a band when he was 17. It leaves out the whole thing of, which I'll let you talk. How did you feel when you came here, and how did you get into music and become a bass player and a musician in the first place? None of that's on there, none of it.
How long is this show?
Hour?
I don't know, not enough time. So when I first came to America, one of the first things I heard, you know, like a lot of immigrants when they first come here is, what are you, stupid? Can't you speak English? Of course, ultimately, it's good to make them all work for you.
And you said, Ma?
I said, Ma? No, but I went through the same hurdles you all did. You know, you go to school, you try to figure out how to make friends, try to get a girlfriend, all that stuff. And I found out that it's better to play in a band than become a dentist. I don't know how to tell you this, John.
Well, I'm not a dentist. Hello.
I'm not going to do the jokes.
How did you pick the? Did someone buy you a bass one day, or how did?
Well,
that
actually,
happen?
my mom just bought me anything I wanted to that she could afford, just to keep me off the streets. One day, I was watching the Ed Sullivan Show. It's a mythical sort of when television, when you change channels like this, click, click, click. We only had 3 to 5 channels. There was a guy named Ed Sullivan, and he would have elephants pooping and the Supremes and all kinds of stuff, and the Beatles, a band I had never heard of, and they came out and they had funny haircuts, and I thought they looked funny, and then my mother said, gee, they look funny, and then I thought they looked cool. And then I understood that you could talk like that and everything. I don't want to take away the guy's job here. You know, you could speak with an accent, and the chicks would still like you. And so I thought, I'm from another country. I don't speak all that well. I don't look like I come from Sweden. Maybe if I get in a band, I'd have a shot. And
a shot at the girls.
Well, you know, when you're young, that's all you think about. You know, you wake up in the morning, girls, 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 and then you sort of, as you get a little bit older, you start to think, how am I going to pay my rent? What am I going to do? Do I have my mother's hips? You know, all the other stuff.
Well, all right. Do you have your mother's hips?
They're very pretty. I do. What are you going to say about my mom?
Nothing. I'm sure she's a wonderful woman.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. And then, but Gene Simmons was your stage name, right?
Well, that's an affectation, just like my glasses are. It's all for show. You know, the world is a stage. Shakespeare, you've heard of him?
Yes.
Yes, he said that a long time ago. So everything we do and everything, our names, what we are, nobody's born Trixie or Portia. You know, you give yourself, like Lovitz, John Lovitz. That's a preposterous name. You're probably Ira Lipschitz, right? What's your real name?
Well, no, but my dad's name was Harold, but my real last name is...
Your dad's name was Heron?
Harold.
Harold.
Hal, though. No, my real last name is a Romanian, Lovitz.
That's my point.
Yeah, well, I didn't change it. My grandfather did.
Well, however, by hook or by crook, you know, dress...
Well, I mean, if I was Lovitz, I wouldn't go, oh, you know what's better? Lovitz.
Well, you can spell it. Dress British, think Yiddish, John.
But your first name, can I say it? Your real first name?
Can you pronounce it?
Chaim.
That's incorrect.
Well, how do you pronounce it?
Emphasis on the second vowel. Chaim.
Chaim?
Correct. Like a cat throwing up a hairball.
What's your last name? Was it Works?
It was, please step right in front of us.
That's
Ladies and gentlemen, a hand for Ashley.
Ashley.
That was cool. I like that.
Ashley's great, but
yes,
she's
she is.
Always drunk.
She hates you, but yes, she's great. My dad's last name was Vitz, W-I-T-Z. They were both Hungarians, and you know, at a very...
And I'm half Hungarian. We could be related.
Half?
My mother's mother.
Tuts besser ni madaru, onjukam sudlot madaru sakbor. Tuts?
Ma?
He went to Hebrew.
No, my family, my dad's family is from Romania. I mean, everybody's immigrants at some point, as my grandparents, and my mother's mother from Hungary, actually from Transylvania.
Oh, really?
Crap, I know, you speak Hungarian too. I forgot, and my aunt actually dated Bela Lugosi. And I have a photo that he signed.
Really?
I meant to bring it in to show
So
you.
she would tell you that he wasn't born Bela Lugosi, that he was born...
Lugosi Bela. Lugosi.
Close. His name was Bela Blasko. He was born from Lugos, Hungary in 1889. But I think we're boring them. They're about to kill themselves.
Oh.
Yeah, his last name also was made up. Lugosi means the guy from Lugos, Hungary, Bela Lugosi. Write that down, kids.
But you named yourself after a rockabilly...
No, you're thinking of Jumpin' Gene Simmons. No, literally.
Is that who you named yourself after?
No, nor Gene
Well, you
Simmons.
better correct your Wikipedia. I don't know who wrote it. That's what it says.
Oh, that's very dependable, Wikipedia, yeah.
You didn't go on there and re-edit it?
Oh, that's where I go to get all my facts and figures. Some college kid living in his mother's basement writes that stuff. I don't do that. You should see what they say about you. I know you don't like farm animals.
I know what they said about me. I edited it out.
So the farm animals are not true.
It's true, but I edited it out.
All right.
Of course it's true.
Who's on
Who hasn't
first?
done that?
No. Violating God's animals.
Well, then how'd you pick the name Gene Simmons? Gene Simmons.
I love the way you say that, John. Lipschitz. You know, I don't know. What was the other last name?
Yankovici.
Yeah, stick with Lovitz. You know, it just came to me. It sort of rolled off my tongue, and my tongue's pretty big, John.
Well, now, I know, you're known for your... How many inches is your tongue? Well, I'm just asking questions that people are thinking.
No, or that you're thinking.
Well, hello. You stick it out every chance you get.
I'm not going to stick it out. The floor's dirty.
That's fine. Well, here's my question. When you were a baby, was your tongue that big? Like,
Well,
they're just like, my God.
No, it's not that. It's just an accident of birth. When I was born, the doctor pulled me out by the wrong appendage.
Too bad. I got pulled out by something else.
I'll take that. That was well done.
Well, I don't want to brag, but I was standing next to a horse the other day, completely nude, and the horse said, "Damn." But back to Gene Simmons. Now, Gene, what's it like? What's the biggest, what's the normal size crowd you play in front of? It's like, what, 50,000? I mean, it's huge,
No,
right?
I mean, they can, look, 2 weeks ago we were in the Hard Rock Casino with the Seminole tribe have in Florida. There couldn't have been more than 5,000 people. But 2 weeks before that, you could play to 80,000 people. So it goes...
Okay, so tell everyone, I want to know, what is it like when you're up there in front of 80,000 people and they're just going nuts for you?
John, it's just like this. Look at the 80,000 people right here at your club. The John Lovitz Stadium.
It's like this? So you're saying like 100 people are vocal and then the other 79,000 are just silent?
They're awed by you.
Do you get used to that, or do you get chills when they go?
No,
cheer?
I don't get nervous or chills or anything.
Did you ever?
No, I never. I know that there's a loose screw. No, I was never afraid of public speaking or getting up in front of people. In fact, I love it. No, I always craved attention, probably because when I first came to America, there was no choice. You either stood up and braved, all the spikes and the slings and arrows of misfortune and other Shakespearean notions, or you sat down and you were quiet and everybody made fun of you. So I stood up. You'll only get the respect you demand, children. Write that down.
No, well, that's tough. You're 8 years old and you don't speak any.
Well, there's no choice
English,
because
right?
I had bad people skills. I couldn't look people in the eye, and because one-on-one. But when you get up on stage, it's sort of invisible. You can just look straight forward, and you don't have to connect with an individual person.
Well, I know you had different bands. What made you finally think of the name Kiss and the demon and the makeup and all that?
Well, I can't take credit for the Kiss thing. The powerful and ever young Paul Stanley thought of the name, and Yes, and Ace, who was then a member of the band, that's 10 members ago. 40 years, this New Year's Eve we're celebrating, and boy, do I look good.
Yeah, 40 years, that's amazing.
And it was Ace who actually drew the logo, that first one, and then Paul drew the one that we still use today. But it's all about teamwork. The band thing started when we saw a space. You know, there was a kind of a hole. The bands were tie-dye, they were looking at their shoes. You get guys playing acoustic guitars, lighting
It was like
incense.
in the early 70s or 73?
Yeah, early 70s, 1870s.
1870s. So this was 140 years
It was a
celebration.
joke, John. And
I know. I was
so when we
joking
first
back.
started, thank you. And so, you know, when we first started, we saw there was an opportunity. We just sort of filled it. Be more outrageous, be bigger than life, and so on. In the same way that Los Angeles doesn't have a football team. So go to lakissfootball.com, and you can get...
Yeah, you started an arena football team?
That's right. You can get season tickets for $99. Come on, and a free Kiss concert. So all season ticket holders, go to lakissfootball.com, get your season tickets. You'll get a free Kiss concert at the Honda Center, and you'll rock out.
Is that where they're going to play?
Yes.
Where is the Honda Center?
Right down the highway. Just Google.
Right next to the Toyota Center?
Yes. Thank you,
Down
John.
the highway. No, where is it? Which highway? There's only 80.
Almost in Anaheim, next to Disneyland. You guys know where it is, right? Yeah.
You know, one of the amazing things to me about Eugene is that, and I don't mean Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah, I saw that coming, yeah.
Is there's very few artists that are, you know, they go, you have your right brain and your left brain. Like, they're good at art and they're good at business. And the only people I know that are, like, great at it is the artist who I know personally and friends with is Peter Max, great at art, great at business, marketing himself. Weiland, the artist, also has his own galleries, does a million things, great at marketing. And then and you, how did you develop both sides of your brain like that? I just give people advice. How do you do that?
When nature doesn't give you a choice, you survive. You know, when we first came to America, my mother was making, I don't know, $80, $90 a week, and she couldn't afford to do anything. There was no choice. You go out and you work. And if I wanted to do the music thing, I noticed it wasn't called music. It was called music business. So I started reading the weekly trades, Record World, Billboard, and so on, and reading about how things were done. You want to build a house? Find out how to do it, the basement and blueprints and so on, and then you'll build a better house. So we wanted to build a better mousetrap. And so you want to, I like that maraca sound. It's a good sound. That little ice in the thing. You don't know what I'm talking about, but that's okay. I entertain myself.
That's Ashley.
So
Ashley at the bar, drinking up all the profits.
we wanted to.
She's great. She's the greatest, but
she is.
No, she's not at all. That's why I tease her. She doesn't drink at all. I'm kidding.
We wanted to put together the band we never saw on stage. And so when you wind up someplace, you can wind up someplace by accident, but it's tough to have a really long career and be lucky and keep winning the lottery. I mean, look at you. You've been here for 80 years. You don't do this by accident.
Well, you know, people say, they go, what's the hardest thing about, they go, what's the proudest thing that your career? And I say, keeping it going. And they go, what's the hardest thing? I said, keeping it going.
It is.
No, well, most bands, they're lucky if they get a hit, and you guys are celebrating 40 years. I mean,
yeah.
You're saying it's not luck, it's by design.
No, it's by design. You think about it, you try to make the experience better. I showed you some photos from the recent shows that we did. It's the best show on earth. You can go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, your show's bigger now than ever, right?
Bigger than ever. Size does count. Your girlfriend's been lying to you all these years. You can go to Las Vegas and go to the Kiss golf course right across from the Hard Rock. You'll be able to go into the Kiss limo VIP things, which will pick you up with screaming lights and all that stuff. You can be in Myrtle Beach at the Kiss Coffee House. John, it's a Kiss world. We're all just living in it.
So you took over from Frank Sinatra.
Sinatra never branded himself.
What made you think of that? I know you showed me Kiss. You've got Hello Kitty.
Kiss Hello Kitty.
Kiss Hello Kitty.
1,000 new licenses. In fact, I just sold the Kiss Hello.
1,000?
That's what I said.
How do you keep track of that? 1,000?
How do you do it? You
Name 30.
30? Okay. Kiss
Name
Hello Kitty notebooks, as done by Norma. There are 25 that come out in Mexico. Kiss Hello Kitty chips that just came out, you know, like fish and chips, just came out in, I showed you photos in Italy.
No, I know, but I want you to tell the audience.
Kiss Hello Kitty little rain boots for kids. They come in all sizes. Kiss slippers. Kiss Hello Kitty bedspreads. In fact, we're doing Kiss Hello Kitty.
He's not kidding.
Oh, no. I sold a show to Hub, which is a kids network, Kiss Hello Kitty show. You'll be seeing it on the air shortly.
And what about your restaurants? The
Rock and Brews restaurants. Go to rockandbrews.com. We're in Cabo, Maui, El Segundo, LAX, airports opening, Kansas City. We're 100 stores the first year. John, I'm good.
Yeah, no, you're amazing. That's why I want you to share with people how you did it, because I don't know if you know this, Gene Simmons, but you, like me, voted for the president, and then when he started saying people don't pay their fair share of taxes, it made me very mad, and then people said I was mad at me, and I'm like, everybody I know that's done really well pretty much was like yourself, dead broke, and worked hard and worked smart, which he said, that's not why you succeed. I'm like, but what do you tell your kids? Oh, you want to get ahead in life? Be dumb and lazy. You worked hard.
That's not what I said.
No, that's what the president said.
Oh, I see.
And you worked hard and you worked smart. You had nothing, and now you do well. And you find people, they resent it, your success ever, and they say, well, you're like, in a weird way, you're like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Not in all ways, but in some ways.
In a sense of you came from outside of America with nothing.
Yeah.
Then you had a vision, and then you created it.
Many visions. He was a bodybuilder, then an actor, and then a governor. Look, in the United States.
No, but I'm saying you the same thing. You're an immigrant of your generation, didn't speak English.
There's nothing you can't do in America. It's a double negative. It sort of means you can do anything, and you cannot fail. You can't. If you go bankrupt, the government allows you to go Chapter 7 or Chapter 11 and start all over again. You just can't fail in America. You can't. What about that, John?
Which chapter, what again?
Well, you'll read all about it in my new book coming out shortly called Me, Inc. Me Incorporated. It's coming soon.
So you wrote a book about this?
This will be my 5th book. The other 4 were all New York Times bestsellers.
Jesus. Was any of them about your... Was any of them... I have a question.
My wife is up there. Is that what you're going to ask me?
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, that. All right.
No.
Did you forget what you were going to ask me?
I remember when you... it was a huge thing when you had all the makeup.
We still do.
And then no, I know, but remember a few years back you announced you were going to take it off.
Right.
And I remember thinking, I was very excited because I was thinking, what the hell do these guys look like? Yeah. I had no idea. And then you had it off, and then you decided to put it back on.
Right.
Why'd you take it off, and why'd you put it back on?
Well, we had
Gene Simmons.
Well, John Lovitz. We had 2 original members, Ace and Peter, who succumbed to the cliches of rock and roll, drugs and booze and all that. And you had to fire their sorry asses for not having enough self-respect and respecting the fans or the band to do it right. This is a privilege. It's not a birthright. So when you get up on stage and you can have more money and more attention and more glory than anything you could imagine, the least you can do is to show up on time and do the job right. If you're not, get off. Give somebody else a chance.
Well, but rock and roll, everyone's young and in their 20s, and they all go, oh, there's the drugs and everything. When did you decide I'm not doing the drugs? I'm not doing.
I've never been higher drunk.
No, I know, but when did you decide when you were?
Well, look,
because you get into that world, and I'm sure everyone's going, come on,
well, you're surrounded by it. Every time you go someplace, do you want a cigarette or crack? It's just everywhere you go. French fries, ketchup, crack. Take your choice. So you're surrounded by it.
Right.
And so I have an advantage, though. It's my mother. I don't want to pull the, isn't that? I'm not doing any of that. Just telling you that my mother is the best source of keeping a moral center. It's through her that I understood the value of life at a very young age. She was, it was World War II. The Nazis and the Germans were around, and I don't want to get into specifics, but at 14 years of age, they took her away. So her philosophy was every day above ground is a good day. You don't have the right to abuse a day of your life. It might be the only day of your life that you'll ever have. Go out there, live big or go home. Live every moment, every hour like it's the only hour you'll ever have. And, you know, try to be ethical about it.
Wow. So your mother was a Holocaust survivor. Well, so anyway, so you were saying you had to get rid of the other guys because of the drugs, but then why did you take, that's why you took the
well, they were gone. We took the makeup off because as new guys came in, it became clear that, you know, you can't just keep repeating the thing over and over again. So we tried it without makeup and still played sold-out arenas and stadiums. And then 10 years after that, when the two original guys looked like they were cleaning up, we brought them back in the band, and it became the #1 tour in the world. And then yet again, a few years later, they succumbed to drugs and booze. Then we threw them out again, continued with other members. Then we brought them back again a third time. They made another fortune again, and then they succumbed again. And then we finally, 3 strikes, you're out, thank you, see you in hell.
Ooh. And that's the demon saying, see you in hell. It's not just
that's where I live.
It's not just some chick. Okay, let's see the tongue.
I thought this was going to be a comedy show. I didn't know this was going to be, like, deep.
Well, you've never made me laugh. I respect you tremendously, your advice. And,
that was good. You should get into comedy.
What's some of the crazy stuff you saw out in the audience while you were playing around the world?
You can't imagine.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
Well, we've had the concerts have stopped in the middle because somebody held up a baby and said, would you sign my baby? I'm not making it up. And we're thinking, isn't it loud? And as a matter of fact, when we played 3 nights at the Forum, and you can get it on video, you know, it's in one of our Kissologies, in the middle of the concert, we're playing and things are blowing up and we're levitating and I'm spitting fire and drugs and my tongue's hanging out, and all of a sudden there's a leg from thigh all the way to the bottom, all pink, with socks and a sneaker on it, and somebody's holding up this leg, and it was the most bizarre looking thing because it looked real. Clearly it was a prosthetic, and, you know, we stopped the show. We thought it was like, hey, bring the ambulance, something's going, well, like, what's going on? And there's a guy in the front going, wow, man, Gene Simmons signed my leg. And we stopped the concert and we signed his leg. All of us, you know, and I hope he was holding on to somebody, I guess, because, you know, I guess he put it back on when we signed it. I don't know what you do. That's a true story.
I believe you. Did you ever? It just popped in my mind.
You had a leg up on us.
A guy ran onto the stage, and you were afraid, and I just picture you going. You just blew fire in his face.
Of course I do. I do that all the time, John. Yeah, of course I did. No, nobody's allowed to go up on stage. You step the wrong place, and you'll be
Couldn't
fired.
they accidentally run up there?
No,
You never had anyone rush you on stage?
They try, but there are security guards, you know, who keep them off the stage. It's not safe. We blow up stuff.
Did you ever get hurt blowing fire?
All the time. I mean,
how did you learn how to do that? What made you think of doing that?
I didn't. We had a manager then who said, you're going to spit fire. Thanks a lot. But, you know, even 40 years ago, the first show, there was a magician named Amazo who was bald, that was his shtick. He had a Van Dyke beard, and he was bald. And I always wondered, this guy spit fire, why he was bald. I found out because my hair caught fire.
I was going to say, your hair looks
flammable. Yeah, the very first show. Yeah, my hair looks flammable. Thank you. But it is my hair. You know, people think this is a wig and stuff. It ain't. It's just pretty. But I caught fire at least, 5, 6 times. And, you know, when it catches, it's not good, not pretty.
On your face you caught fire?
Well, the liquid, kerosene, and sometimes...
Yeah, I don't know how do you do it? Explain.
No, it's not a good idea, because some idiot's going to go, I'm going to do that. And then they'll go up and smoke. There'll be a shish kebab.
You're some idiot and you're looking at me. I'm not going to do it. I have no desire
you're not gonna
to
do
blow
it,
fire.
Yeah, but you want to know how I do it.
Yeah, I'm curious. Because I'm interested.
Well,
I'm curious. Otherwise, we'd have nothing to talk about.
Do
Do you want to know how he blows fire? C. Do you want to see his tongue? C. Ew, he did it to me.
It has to do with a flammable liquid in your mouth, and you got to have a large flame, and you've got to be able to spray it. No,
But how does you're blowing kerosene in a flame? How does it not come back
You
in?
have to keep moving your arm away from it, and before it eats your face, you move it away, and then it could be. Not that fast, John. Don't do it. But
I'm not going to do
if you
it.
do it the
Believe
right,
me, I'm not.
If you do it
I
the
have
right
no
way,
desire.
it could be 6 to 10 feet long. The fire, yeah.
The fire?
Oh yeah. But it'll eat its way back unless you.
Did you ever blow the fire out and
Yeah.
it hit Paul Stanley in the face? And he went, "You fucker." Did that ever happen?
No, John. No, it didn't happen. They get off the stage.
Well, were you ever like Ace Frehley's playing guitar and it's the third time when you go, he's getting drunk again, you went, "Oh, show that son of a bitch." Can you blow fire on him? Because you were just pissed in the middle of the show? No?
No, John. No.
Well, you have a lot of self-control. What?
The what?
Is that your wife? The lifeguard story?
Lifeguard
That's
story?
your family, I believe, right?
Who's that, my wife? About the what, Shannon? Oh. So, Ace, we love him. You know, he was an original member of the band, equally as important as anybody else. And he wanted to show me that he was, now sober. And he'd written a book, and he called me up and he said, "Let's have lunch, at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I want to show you that I'm okay and stuff, and I want to read you a chapter I wrote about you." I said, "Hey, great. I'm glad you're happy," and sure. So we had lunch, I hope you're happy. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I know I messed up and stuff for 35 years. But, yeah, I'm okay now. And hey, great. God bless you. And he said, "Okay, so here's the chapter. Let me read it to you." So I had a glass of champagne, and I had a scarf around my neck, and I was on a diving board with my bathing suit on, and I was jumping up and down, and I was clearly drunk out of my mind, and you were off on the lawn chair in front of the swimming pool going, "Don't jump, don't jump, you're drunk, get off, don't jump." And I was laughing hard, and I ignored you, and I threw the champagne in the water, and then I dove in, laughing my head off, and I started to drown. And thank God, I remembered later, you used to be a lifeguard. You dove in and you hauled me out, and then you pushed the water out of my lungs, and you put me back on my stomach so that I wouldn't drown. And eventually I came to, and everything's okay. And I just wanted to check with you if all that was accurate. And I said, about 95% was accurate. He goes, "Fantastic. What wasn't accurate?" "Okay, well, I'll tell you what was accurate. There was a diving board, there was drunkenness, there was the champagne glass, the scarf was there, diving in the pool was there, rescuing was there, getting the lungs out stuff on the launch, everything was right. But it wasn't you, it was Peter Criss. You were flat out passed out on the side of it. That's true. So if you read the book and you read that thing, it was like, oh. There have been decades when he was unaware. Yeah. So here's another one. I'll swear to God this is true. We had a new drummer, Eric Singer, and we're asking, "Would you please call Ace to get him to come and, rehearse with the band?" He's on the phone. "Yeah." What do you mean, a flying saucer?" "There's a flying saucer landing near your swimming pool in Connecticut." Are we allowed to say fuck?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would a flying saucer land in your pool in Connecticut? "I can't leave. Look, there's a flying saucer." "Okay, let us know when the flying saucer's gone, and then come out and rehearse to California because we're starting a tour soon." "Yeah, okay, but I got to get off the phone. The alien's going to come out of it." So we hang up the phone. A day or two later, "Okay, did you make the flight?" "No." "Why?" "I got bit by a killer tick. I have Lyme disease. It flew off the deer." You can't make this stuff up. That's true. He was walking down the hallway in a Holiday Inn on his knees, and I was coming back because we used to bunk together a long time ago, and he's on his knees like marching. Then I see him holding on to the door of the room that we shared, and he opens up the door and he looks behind him and he says, come on. And he's looking on the ground and sort of in time nodding his head. Okay, come on, let's go. And I'm going, Ace, what are you doing on your knees? He goes, who are you talking to? He goes, the men. He had a marching band in his mind, and he didn't want to make him feel bad, so he was on his knees. He was marching in with the men into the room. Kill me now.
And you gave him 3 chances to come back?
Both.
How did he mess that up 3 times?
Defense rest, Your Honor. It was, you cannot make up these stories. They were countless, and they're both sweethearts. Ace and Peter love them, and, thank God we put the band together, but not everybody is designed to run the marathon. You can't imagine what went on. Tell me some story. I'm sure. You know that whole cliche about furniture? The what? I can't make it out.
Snorting ants?
That's somebody else in another band. We, the stories about furniture being stuck on the ceiling upside down so that when the maid comes in to clean, she flips out? He did that. You ever hear the stories about how there were holes in walls so that 2 members of the band can hang out because you don't want to go through the front door outside? He did that. And the only person I ever know who shot himself with an Uzi, Ace Frehley. He went gun shooting in Texas someplace, and he had these cross-eyed cousins who clearly were interbreeding with each other or farm animals. And we just heard about it. Oh my God, Ace is in the hospital. So we send the manager to get, what's going on? Sure enough, he's got a bullet wound. What is it? It's an Uzi, an Israeli gun that goes brrr, like that. What had happened is that his genius half-brothers, half-cousins, I don't know what they were, but Pa, you're crushing the smokes. So you have to think about that one. Write that down, children. Later on, you'll laugh. So he's gun practicing to hit a target with a machine gun. And he loaded something or other with the bullets wrong, so as soon as he started, shooting the machine gun, the first bullet shot backwards and hit him in the chest. Ta-da! Who shot you? I did. It's true. It's a true story.
I believe you.
Yeah. I can't, I don't want to go on because you'll think, no, he's exaggerating. There were mutilations.
But you and Paul started the band, so you guys kind of own it, and then you can hire whoever you want.
Well, now, like yes. Now? Originally, we bought out Ace and Peter, and tried to look. They're happier now not being in the band. Not everybody's designed to be on the road. There's a 27 Club. There are many, many famous people, Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison and Amy Winehouse and everybody. They killed themselves by 27. And the God's honest truth is that when Ace was in his 20s, he kept telling me his lucky number was 27. So maybe he's happier, and I hope Peter's happier, and we love him, and not everybody's designed to run a marathon. Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
I do.
What?
Okay. I know Morgan Fairchild. You've been talking about Morgan forever. Yeah, Morgan Fairchild.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucked her.
Oh, my.
Not me, the character. Morgan, no, she's the nicest. Morgan Fairchild. I don't know, either myself or A. Whitney Brown came up with that as my liar character, saying, my wife, Morgan Fairchild. And I was at Saturday Night Live, and my agent's assistant called me and said, Morgan Fairchild.
Slow down. You were on Saturday Night Live?
I was on Saturday Night Live. Oh, you didn't know that?
Of course I did. I'm giving you more
I know.
airtime.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving me airtime on my own show. But I was, 85 to 90. So I get a call and they said, my first year in the show, and she said, Morgan Fairchild called and wants to speak to you. I'm like, yeah, right. Because I was a nobody and she was this huge star. So finally I said, all right, let me talk to her. So she called me up and I go, yeah, it's John Lovitz. She goes, yeah, it's Morgan Fairchild. And I really thought it was a crank call. But it wasn't. After about 5 minutes, I realized it's really her. And she was really nice. She goes, I think it's so funny, and thank you for doing it in a funny way, not in a mean way. She said, well, anyway, if you're ever, if you ever want to have lunch, I said, all right, great.
Really? She picked you up, huh?
Yeah, and then I met her in Los Angeles. We had lunch, and she
Wow.
goes, well, let's make it. She kissed me on the cheek. She was very nice. And the funniest thing was she came to New York once, so I had met her for lunch, and this was when the liar character was huge, and my wife, Morgan Fairchild. Anyway, we had lunch, and we came out of a restaurant, and some guy saw us, and he just looked, and he went, oh, it's true. It's true. Oh, my God. I mean, he just freaked out. It was very funny. She was, back then all the characters she played were like these, blonde bimbos and really bitchy women on the TV shows. And she's the complete opposite. She's like the nicest person in the world. She's brilliantly smart. She speaks in front of the Congress and the Senate all the time on the...
So what's she doing hanging out with you? Lovitz.
Oh, everybody's a comedian. I'm also very smart. I'm funny. I'm not smart like you, business-wise. What do you do with all your money anyway? You're making so much money. Do you just save it? What do you do? Do you indulge in anything? I know you save it, you're good with it, but is there any hobby you indulge yourself in? Is there something you...
I collect myself.
He saves it.
Thanks,
That's
Dad.
your wife. That's your wife. He saves it!
I lavish it on our family. But
you have a beautiful family, by the way. Your kids are great. They're straight and narrow and doing great. Right?
But I had nothing to do with it. Shannon raised them. I just work here. See, Sophie and Nick are the way they are because Shannon instilled in them the ethical backbone and the work ethic and all that.
But did you tell them what your mother told you?
Oh, yeah. We smashed an apple in front of them when they were young and terrified them and all kinds of other stuff.
Were you strict?
Well, when it was the few times they got a little,
Yeah.
That was what I was supposed to do. But
did you ever say, if you don't clean up your room, I'm going to put on the demon makeup?
I didn't say that.
Breathe fire on you.
I never said that.
You never walked in with the makeup. You're like,
no.
I saw him at a show once once. Oh. Anyway, I went once, and I think I saw you backstage, and you had those shoes on. You're tall anyway, but with those shoes, you're like 7 feet tall.
That's right.
You used to go into their bedroom with all the makeup.
No,
and
I
the
didn't.
Shoes.
No.
You go, make your bed, goddammit! No! And they're like going, ah! And then you'd leave and come back in. You go, what's wrong? They go, the demon was here. Did you ever do that?
No, John. Although when they first saw me, especially Nick, when he was a little one, Shannon brought him to one of the videos and I was dressed up. He cried when he saw me. Yeah, he did.
He didn't know it was you, though, right?
No. I hope. But no, I didn't do that. But I think we had an understanding early on, Nick and Sophie, we had a kind of a real discussion about how you're not allowed to get high or drunk, at least without talking to us first. And if you disappoint us, you're going to find your Beverly Hills butts in the middle of a work camp in the Arizona desert. But other than that, we're loving parents.
Well, I think it's a good thing. You know. Where's Mark?
Mark quit.
Oh, another partner gone.
Who is Mark?
Mark Short.
Oh, the guy who...
Mark, how much time do we have? No, we
You have to get off now, John?
I know, that's what I was going to ask. Well, who's got the mic? All right, well, right now, it's your turn to ask Gene questions, so there'll be somebody coming around with raise your hand if you have a question for Gene. There's questions from the audience, Gene. Get ready.
I got a question, Gene. My name's Mark, and I was wondering, you were talking earlier about how to become successful and how the business side of everything like that.
Well, I want to stop for a second because people think that, oh, you're in business and I'm not. Everything in life is business. It really is. Everything is. God passes the hat around. If you're single, you go to a bar, you hang out, you go to... Everything is business. Everything. You're either spending money or you're making it. And the real secret of life is you want to spend less than what you make, right? That's called profit. America should take note of that. 17 trillion in debt. Spend less than what you make. Yeah, but I got to have that couch. No, you don't. But she's got to have those extra 10 pairs of shoes. No, she doesn't have it, except my wife was going to get $1 million.
Do you think without being a successful rock star, you would still be sitting there? You would have had the business sense to do it without being a musician?
I never claimed to be a musician, but in all seriousness, respectfully, I would be successful at anything I wanted to do. You know why? Because I would work longer hours than you would. I don't mean you necessarily. I will do whatever it takes to win. I learned people skills. I learned speaking skills. I couldn't speak your language when I first came here. I will take on what I used to be a dictaphone typist. I was the assistant to the editor of Vogue magazine.
How fast could you type? Yeah,
90 words a minute when I was 18 and up to about 110 when I was about 22.
Accurately, Gene?
So accurately that I was a dictaphone typist for Kelly girls. You put the headphones on, now they're Kelly services. Put the headphones on, I was 19. Put the headphones on.
You were a Kelly girl?
Yes, I was.
So you were a girl. Well, we didn't know that. At one point in your life, I'm saying.
At one point. So you put the headphones on and you hear, Miss Simmons, because they used to think I was the thing. Take a note. Dear Mr. So-and-so, as he's talking, you got to type that fast. So I would be successful. Venture capital, hedge fund, I would learn what it takes and I would be successful. In fact, CoolSpringsLife.com is one of the other ventures I'm a partner in. We loan high net worth individuals as much as $300 million at flat LIBOR. It's a life equity strategy. We have rockandbrews.com, which is a restaurant chain. We have Ortsbo, one of the world's largest universal language translators. There's nothing I can't do. And by the way, the secret is nobody who's successful was born doing what they were doing. Nobody is born pope, nobody's born president, nobody's born a CEO. They work at it. They work at it harder than the rest of the people, and that's how you climb success.
Yeah.
We have a question right over to your left here, center bottom.
I just got one question. Can we see the tongue?
I don't know what the fascination is. It's long. Pardon me? Yeah, I don't know what he said.
He said your tongue is supposed to be freakishly long.
Freakishly long, it is.
I don't think he said it like that. It's supposed to be freakishly long. I think it's what he said.
It's not real. It's...
What? I don't think he talks like me.
That's absolutely true.
What do you mean, why do people want to see your tongue?
How come?
That's all you stick it out every show. You're known for that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm known, people say, pull down your pants. I'm like, later. I'm known for that. You're known for your tongue. How do you, like people go, can you do the liar? Why? Can you say, yeah, that's the ticket? No.
That's very good.
Well, you don't have to do it, but that's why they're...
No, it's not the fact that
you can't really wonder why he's asking, do you?
It's not the fact that it's long. It's not what it's all about. No, actually it is. It's the fact that it has a spindricle. Now I blew my own joke. It's the fact that it has a spin cycle and it can whip up a good goddamn froth. I've been saving that.
Bon appetit.
I've been saving that for a year, and I haven't used it in a year. No, you don't want to see it. It's disgusting. You'll have nightmares. You want nightmares? Shannon, should I stick it out? Shannon, should I?
awkward. Your own wife.
And so.
Well, your wife said show them both, and you know you said you love your family and you want to keep them happy. Wait, here. Where's the camera? Here, do it into that camera. That was amazing. Your tongue did a 360. There's my reaction to it. How dare you?
We have another one right over on your left again, on the bottom floor.
Mr. Simmons, I just want to thank you for one of my mentors, Mr. James McKeechin, who's a Silver Star and Purple Heart recipient. A lot of people don't realize what you do for the troops. I just want to thank you for all the work you do for our troops. And just sort of hats off. Just a great job for what you do. I want to thank you.
It's unwarranted. We should all buckle our knees in front of real heroes. We always talk about Superman and Batman and all the superheroes. And the truth is, real superheroes exist. They volunteer. It's our proud military. And the next time you're standing in line at a Starbucks getting a coffee, if you see somebody in a uniform, step aside, make way for a real live superhero.
Any other questions on the bottom floor? Yeah, right over here. Yes. Okay.
Hey, Gene. I heard you guys said that, I'm right here. Sorry, right here. Waving, I'm waving.
Over there.
Okay. You guys said that at some point you see Kiss as a brand and that the band can go on once you and Paul retire.
Yeah.
You stand by that?
Oh, yeah. Anybody is replaceable. Anybody. And when you think you're irreplaceable, that's when you start believing your own stuff. Because when you really think about it, the original Beatles were the best. Nobody can take their place. Well, in which case, Ringo shouldn't be there because the original member was Pete Best. The Stones, you can only have the original members. Well, guess what? There's only 50% left. They've had many members, and they continue to do. It'll probably be the biggest concert tour this year. AC/DC, you can't get rid of Bon Scott. Actually, as soon as he passed away, sadly, when Lou lead singer came in, even though that guy's talking too loud and I'm going to find out where he lives, don't worry about that. They became a stadium band. Van Halen, band I discovered, loved the Roth version of it, but as soon as Sammy Hagar came into the band, they became twice the band. It seems to be, as soon as you change members, you get bigger. That seems to be what's going on.
But you said you've discovered Van Halen?
I certainly did.
Well, can you tell us that story? I never knew that.
Well,
I had no idea.
I was invited to go see a new band called The Boys with a Z at a place called the Starwood, which was on Santa Monica. We were in Los Angeles at the time, and we'd just come off of our 5th album, something like that. And the very first band was a group called Van Halen, which I thought was a silly name. And within 2 songs, I went, what the hell is that? Long hair thing and all that. And the songs were good, so I waited for them backstage. And when they came backstage, they said, hey, man, Gene said, wow, all that. And they introduced me to a yogurt manufacturer who was going to be a nice guy, I'm sure, who was going to be their investor. They were going to take his money and he could become a partner. And I said, don't do that. I'll fly you to New York, sign to my company, Man of 1,000 Faces. I'll produce your demo. You guys are the next big thing. And they did. I flew him to New York, put him in Electric Lady Studios. We did a 24-track demo, the first 15 songs. And then I tried to convince the rest of the guys in the band and the manager at the time, this is the next big band, let's take them out on tour. They didn't buy, they said, nah, this is like silly. So I did the ethical thing. I ripped up the contract, wished the guys well, you owe me nothing, I believe in you, I know you'll happen. If I come up after our tour, if I come up for air, I'll get back involved, but I can't ethically stay with you if I'm going back out on tour with Kiss. I don't have enough time. Within 6 months, the first single came out, boom, and they rose to the top. I love the "I told you so" line. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Love that one. Told you so.
No, I think he's the best guitarist in the world. I saw a show they did at the Forum. It was a practice show and before they did, I think, the Staples Center, and it was just...
Did you know that...
In the first intro of the song, he did everything I ever heard any guitar player do.
Like Segovia. You
Just
can
in
play
the intro.
the bass runs and the solos and the chords at the same time. The amazing thing about the band is that the drummer, Alex, used to be the guitar player, and Eddie Van Halen, used to be the drummer. That's how good they are. They just switched.
Wow.
That's a true story.
We have time for 2 more questions. Anybody down on the bottom floor or up top? 2 more questions? No? Come on.
Wave, because it's dark down there.
Got one more right over here
Back
again.
there.
There we go.
I'll ask another one. Gene, I have a question. When you first started out, when you were married with Shannon, how did things move forward with a wife that, you know, it's tough to have the business, like my wife doesn't really like the business that I do. So how do you keep things moving?
What's your business?
I do a radio show.
Why doesn't she like it?
Well, she thinks I act like an idiot for a living, and she has a serious job.
What's your wife's serious? What's her serious job?
She's a mental health therapist.
Do you have mental issues?
Probably, to an extent. But I mean, she looks at her job as really important, and I called Target this morning. And asked
So
for
don't you
targets.
entertain people?
What's that?
So you entertain people, right?
Yeah.
So you make them happy.
Right.
So you make them feel good mentally.
I hope so.
Well then, you raise the health mentally.
I wish more therapists and shrinks had a sense of humor, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know, just being so different.
Sounds like a reality show in the making. The shrink and the DJ. I like it.
Did you ever hear that joke? A woman is with her psychiatrist and she says, "Doctor, kiss me." He goes, "I can't kiss you. I'm your doctor." And she goes, "Doctor, kiss me." He goes, "I can't kiss you. You're my patient." "Doctor, please just kiss me." And he's like, "I can't kiss you. I shouldn't even be fucking you." Did you ever hear that joke, Gene Simmons?
All right.
Is there one more question?
On that, one more question.
One
Anyone
more
down
for
here?
Gene Simmons
Yes.
of Kiss.
Right over here, to your left, gentlemen.
Hello, Gene. Very nice to meet you. A lot of this has been a review for me tonight since I'm a big fan, seen you 5 times in concert. Yes. One thing I was going to ask, a lot of my gay friends try to take away my gay card for being a Kiss fan, but I always try to assure them that this is not, I'm not being deviant in any way. I always try to sell Kiss to my gay friends, actually, because you dated Cher, you managed Liza Minnelli, all these things, trying to make the connection with them, because I don't know why gays can't rock and roll as well.
You missed one.
Well, Diana Ross, you dated Diana Ross, the Trinity, as you talked about in your book. Was that the one I was missing? Yes, but I wanted to get your input, because you've also made a lot of great statements supporting the gays. I want to commend you on that. That was very touching. I think you did the It Gets Better campaign, so forth and everything. So sorry if I'm trembling.
Look, I just want to make don't want to get too cornball about it.
Right.
I'm Jewish. My mother and my family were tortured throughout history. My mother was in a concentration camp. How dare I think that I should have all the rights and somebody else shouldn't? As soon as you let somebody who's gay get picked on, you're next, okay? You can be black, Hispanic, Martian, Jewish, I don't care what it is. We've got to protect each other's rights, otherwise you're next. If you allow somebody to get picked on, you're next. And then Nazi Germany is a step away. You can't allow anybody to get picked on. It's simple.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Well,
that's my wife.
how does it feel being married? You've been married 30 years now?
I'm sorry? Bring her on stage. Come down, Shannon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mrs. Gene Simmons, Shannon Tweed.
Simmons. Okay, here she comes. She's really quite attractive. You should see her. We're about to go off for a few days and not do anything. I'm going to kill myself. And to celebrate our 30th anniversary. Okay, let me get out of the way.
He also has a cute little tuchus. How does it feel being married now? We're together 30 years in a couple of days. How's that feel?
Well, you know, I was an asshole all my life. In fact, my solo record was called Asshole. We were together for 28 and a half years before I ever asked Shannon to marry me. I was maybe anybody's worst nightmare, certainly Shannon's, and her higher ethical, I don't know what it was that she saw in me, she stuck by me, and come on, guys, we're arrogant, we're selfish, we don't want, where are you going? Where am I going? Who's asking? We don't like that stuff. When you finally meet
I like women to know they're not doing it to you. They're just doing it. They're just stupid.
If a guy walks through the forest by himself, is he still wrong? Yes. Just get used to it. You're never going to win, and then you'll have a happier life. And so finally I decided, we went through a boot camp thing, and we had a TV show and
Marriage
stuff.
boot camp.
And one of the boot camp things was, I walk in a room and Shannon's lying in a casket, and I'm not doing the jokes, this is real. And so I was a little shocked by it, and I said, this is a little kind of silly, you know, stand up, I don't want to see you in a casket. And so the guy said to me, what would you say to Shannon after all this time if she was dead, here now? So I said, this is silly, I don't want to do it. He said, no, just talk to her as if she was dead, and Shannon's lying perfectly still. You know, and there was that moment of, okay, you're right, I was an asshole, I'm so sorry. So the truth is, if you have that last moment, if you're lying on your deathbed, who do you want around you? Because one day it'll happen. Do you want your kids? Do you want the one who loves you all your life there? You better answer that question now, and it's a good wake-up call, because you can always get the bimbo and the thing and the great and the lifted and the separated. It's always around. I'm telling you, been there, done that. You better find somebody who loves you. Soon. That's it.
Thank you, Gene. And Gene, I want to thank you for being on the show.
And by the way, John, I want to set you up. Shannon's got a very nice friend. You'll like her.
Is she loose? No. Anyway, well, all right, Gene. Anyway, I want to thank you for being on the show. And anyway, we have something for you right now.
Oh?
We have a little gift for you, Gene.
What is it?
Is it ready? Yes.
Is it a pie?
It's Gene's birthday Sunday. So, Gene, happy birthday.
John and Gene, I want to tell you guys.
Oh, my God.
Check that out. I want to tell you guys this cake was made by Danny Gonzalez of French's Bakery out of Costa Mesa, California. It is an amazing cake.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there's the tongue. What do you think of that?
Did you have something to do with this?
No, I didn't do it.
Let's sing happy birthday to Gene. Ready? Happy
a little lick.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gene. Birthday to you. Gene Simmons, everybody, on Lovitz or Leavitz.
Don't you dare.
Happy birthday, Gene.
That is actually very good. Can we cut it up and serve it to everybody?
Yeah.
It's really good. You just have to swallow. It's okay. You'll be all right.
Why don't you cut the cake with your tongue? Why don't you do that, Mr. Big Tongue Showbiz?
Can I go now?
You have to go to the bathroom?
No. Can I just get off?
You can get off, but you're not going to get any cake. Yeah, show's over.
Oh, the show's over.
Yeah. What do you want to do now? Is the band here? Oh, I thought we'd do a couple of numbers. You didn't bring the band? All right, fine.
Can I go now?
Yes.
Thank you.
Gene
Thank you.
Simmons, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. This will be, if you want to look at this again or show it to your friends, it'll be online on Sunday at 7, John Lovitz Vodcast. Network.com, and we also do shows in the studio up there. Next week I have Ed Begley. Other live shows, if you want to see, we had Gary Busey was great. We had Dana Carvey. And anyway, I want to thank Gene again for coming, and Shannon and his family. Anyway, if you want to, there's another show right now. I don't know if you could get tickets again. It's called Refried Fridays, and it's a very funny show. The comics are great, so you're welcome to come to that. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to the show tonight. Please drive safe. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for John Lovitz.